Good morning. The Committee on Parole is reconvening. We are at Rapids DC 3 on Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. It is 8:57 a.m. Morning, sir. Is there a staff member in the room with you? Or are
Yes,
you by
sir.
yourself?
No, I got a sergeant in here to the left.
Sergeant, would you introduce yourself for the record?
Sergeant Marsh.
Thank you, Sarge. We appreciate you accommodating us this morning. And sir, would you introduce yourself and give us your name and DOC number?
My name is Stephen Crumedy, and my DOC number is 555537.
All right, Mr. Crumedy, my name is Cheryl Lennox. I'm serving as chairman of the parole panel today. Let me just read some identifying information into the record. You are classified as a second felony offender. You're currently serving a 35-year sentence for manufacturing cocaine, possession of cocaine, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, and another manufacturing cocaine. You have a parole eligibility date, which is February 4th, 2023. Good time is August 9th, 2024, and your full term date is May 5th, 2043. Does all that sound accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Crumedy, your case has been assigned to Mr. Marabella. Would you answer his questions?
Good morning, Mr. Crumedy. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Mr. Crumedy, how old are you, sir?
I'm 53, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been in prison on these charges?
12 years, sir.
Tell me a little bit about your educational background.
My educational background, I graduated well. I took my test. I have my GED. I also have a trade in culinary cooking. I also am certified by OSHA.
When did you get your GED? Since you've been in prison?
No, sir, when I was free.
Okay. And how about your culinary skills, your cooking? Where'd you learn those trades?
When at St. Marcus, gave a job coach. When I had finished, came out of school.
When was that?
It's been a while. I was about 21 years old, sir.
All right. So tell me, what kind of jobs have you had before you came to prison?
I got like 20 some years in working, but I spent 10 years at Vico.
10 years at where?
10 years at Vico. That's
What is that?
That's a box factory running a box machine with all the blades on them, cutting boxes.
All right.
I also drove a fork truck for them. I spent operating a sewing machine, 21-yard sewing machine at American Fabric. Also, worked construction jobs too, so.
Let's talk a little bit about your drug use. When did you start using drugs?
I ain't never used drugs, sir.
You never used drugs at all?
No, sir. Only thing I did was just drink.
So you're a drug dealer?
A drug dealer? No, sir. I went to trial on conspiracy to the drug and having knowledge of it.
So you never used drugs and you're not a drug dealer,
No, sir.
but you're in jail on manufacture of cocaine, possession of cocaine, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, and manufacturing cocaine. You went to trial and were convicted of all of those charges?
I went to trial for it, sir. Yes, sir. They had to give me.
Okay, well, we're gonna get to talking about that in just a few moments. Okay. Tell me a little bit about the aggravated battery. You got revoked. You were out on parole supervision or probation. Which were you on?
I was on, when I got revoked, that was my second charge. My first charge was aggravated.
I understand your first charge was aggravated battery. That's what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
Did you go to prison on that charge?
No, I got, no, sir.
Probation?
I did, yeah, I got probation, sir.
And so tell me what happened on that aggravated battery charge. You ended up shooting someone. You shot at the car 5 times and hit him twice.
Yes.
Tell me what happened at that time.
I was on my way to the store that night, and a truck driver pulled up to me, and he went to talk to me about my wife and stuff. So I had my gun on my side. He put out his gun and pointed at my head and was talking crazy. So we went talking crazy to each other while he had a gun pointed at me, and it escalated into a shootout. I mean,
And so you pled guilty to that charge.
I feel guilty to aggravated battery.
And you were put on probation.
I put on probation.
And then while on probation, who lived at 716 East 6th Street? Whose house was that?
That I was my wife's house, sir.
You and your wife and your 3 children lived there, right?
So,
And how old were your children?
well, 2 of my children. One had already moved out.
Okay.
He still came by. But my oldest boy, he ought to be around about 38, something like that.
So no, at the time, how old was he?
I only had one child that wasn't grown at that time. That was Junior, Stephen Fred Crumedy Jr. He was 16.
There were 2 children that came to your house while you were being arrested. The day they were there,
Yeah.
2 boys, one 15 and one 17. Those weren't your children?
One, no, the 17-year-old, he was 18. But
All right. So
he's a slow learner. He's slow.
is he your child?
Yes, sir. Yes,
How
sir.
about the 15-year-old?
The 15-year-old, yes, sir.
So getting back to my question, you and your wife lived at 716 East 6th Street, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And you had 2 teenage boys living there with you.
Yes, sir.
And you were in your house, they were making crack cocaine in the microwave. They had marijuana smoking everywhere. There was cocaine there. Now you tell me you didn't know about any of that?
No, sir, I was passed out on the counter. I mean, me and my wife, even though we were living in the same house, sir, she had the bedroom, I had the front room. Wasn't nothing found.
And you didn't smell the marijuana? You didn't know they were cooking crack cocaine there? Mr. Crumedy,
Yes, sir. I understand.
if you want to sit here and lie to me, you're wasting my time and certainly yours.
I would not.
Because if you're not even going to concede the facts of this case, then you got a real problem. Don't tell me you were living in a house with your teenage boys and your wife, and they had 2 other people there doing all of these drugs, and you didn't know anything about it. That's BS, and you know it. If that's your story, you want to stick to it, we'll move forward. That's your story?
Sir, I just like to explain a little something to it, if you don't mind, sir.
You got about 3 minutes to explain it to me, because I read all the reports, you went to trial, and you were convicted. So don't tell me you didn't know because you were passed out on the couch.
When he came in now, sir, he saw the sob on my face when he came in at the probation office. He said, "Clean your face." He said, "I see you were passed out on the couch, sleep." I woke you up. I cleaned my face. But as I said, I was asleep. I didn't know the other dude was in my back room. He said, "Who here with you?" I said, "I don't know. I just woke up." But I did have 2 teenage children had just got off the school bus. One of them was pretty smart, and the other is a slow learner, sir. Now, I didn't know what they were doing back there because I was asleep. But like I said, I would not lie to you, sir. I serve a mighty good God. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do acknowledge that I was staying there at that house when this was happening. I do acknowledge that. Very much indeed.
Mr. Carmody, you filled out an application and it's a needs assessment. And the question to you is, I'm not the problem. It doesn't make sense for me to be here in jail. And your answer was, I strongly agree. Did you write that? Is that how you feel?
I feel that it being in jail, I have got all the positive things out of jail that the jail have to offer me. That's why you don't see no bad reports on me. I always done the right thing since I've been here, obeying the rules of the jail. And that's how I feel, sir.
You also say being locked up here does not bother me. I agree. So doesn't bother you to be in prison?
Yes, sir. It bothers me because I should have been more aware of the things that were surrounding me. And I wasn't because I was drinking. And that's why I feel that I should be a better parent and be a better person now since I've been in here. By
The assessment, Mr. Crumedy, the assessment to determine how you think goes on to ask you the following question. People are out to hurt me in some way. And your answer is, I agree with that. You believe people are out to get you?
No, sir.
You don't believe that, but you answered that way. Why?
Oh, I must have misunderstood the question, sir.
Next question was, if someone disrespects me, then I have to straighten them out. You said, yes, I agree with that.
See,
You agree?
I would have to straighten them out by talking to them, not by physical. I would ask them, why is we having these problems? See, I have to have people skilled to talk to people to get them to see your perspective. And that's what I would do, not by physical.
Mr. Crumedy, you said you've taken all these courses while you've been there and you're a different person, or now you've learned some things. You've taken 100 hours of pre-release and living in balance. What else have you taken?
I took celebration recovery. I taught
When did
that.
you take that?
I took that in Jonesboro.
How long ago?
I want to say about 5 years, sir.
Think that about drug addiction, substance abuse?
I took that class. I taught it too. I taught that class. I finished the class, and then I became mentor teacher of the class.
But you don't do drugs. You don't have a drug problem. You don't sell drugs. What did you get out of the class?
By helping other people, sir. I took that class to become a positive asset to the jail, teaching it to help others to see.
Well, tell me what I ought to think about the fact that you were in a house living with your wife and your teenage children, and there were drugs all over that house. Now tell me what's not right about that.
All of it's not right about it. I'm saying, but where I was laying,
But none of that was your fault. You didn't know anything about it.
I had already acknowledged that early in. I said I should have been a better parent and been aware of all of my surroundings with my children.
So
And
you're
so-
saying you didn't know. You'd have been a better parent. If you were a better parent, you'd have known that.
That's right.
But you didn't know all that was going on right around you because you were
No,
sleeping
sir,
on the
'cause
couch.
I was drinking. I go to work, come on, I drink, take a shower, and go. I drink, and then I watch TV and pass, go to sleep. That was
How much? Right.
I might have drunk a fifth, couple beers, and
You an alcoholic?
Well, I was, yes, sir. That's what
Are
I
you
was.
currently an alcoholic?
I'm a recovery alcoholic. I will not drink no more since that's over with, sir. Over with, sir.
Sergeant Morris, what can you tell us about Mr. Crumedy?
He's had no disciplinary report since he's been in this facility. Actually, his name doesn't come up very much at all.
Thank you very much. That's all.
Mr. Crumedy, we have no further questions. Is there a statement you'd like to make to close it out for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
I know it sounds kind of confusing about where I was living and how things here. but I am a better parent now. I talk to my grandchildren. I'm excited to go to work and to show them a different side of Steve Crumedy. Now, I can't change the past, but I can make the future better by being a positive asset, not only to my parents and to my family. I can be a positive asset to them now because I did complete living in balance, anger management, celebration recovery, and I taught that class. I taught that class to help others. I also was in faith, baby, but they closed it down by going to church. I was going to church very often through the prison system. I did my best to get all the positive things out of prison. That's why I don't have no record. I came with a positive and a changed mind to do better things for myself through the Lord Jesus Christ. That my Father can heal me and strengthen me and through this same process, and He have done that. Even though things may not seem that way, but that don't make it not that way, because we are human. We make mistakes. And that's why God, I'm asking y'all forgive me for my action. And I'm asking y'all to give me another chance to go out there to be a positive asset to the community. Thank you.
Yeah, I had one more question I meant to ask you. You were in work release in Lafourche Parish,
Yes, sir.
and you were removed for a disciplinary reason in January of 21. Why was that?
I beat it though. I was sleeping on the side of a dude and stuff, and he was doing crazy things. I kept talking to him, and we had a little altercation, but I beat that in my parole. I beat that in the DVD court. They throwed it out.
But you didn't get reassigned back to work release.
Well, I come here for that and stuff, but I'm in DC3 now, but you know what I mean? I just thank God for the opportunity, just going through all this time without almost a completely clean record.
All right, sir, I think we are prepared to vote. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize, thank you. We have your son, Stephen,
Sure.
here wants to speak on your behalf. So could we hear from Stephen Crumedy Jr.?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. What would you like us to know?
I'm gonna be quite honest with y'all. Nah, he wasn't the best parent in the world. He ain't the brightest either, as y'all can tell. And I do truly believe he deserves his freedom, his parole, but I know that's up to y'all. That's all I gotta say.
Well, thanks for joining us and sharing your comments with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Y'all welcome.
Mr. Mirabella?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Crumedy, it sounds like you're doing well where you are. That's a good thing. You have taken some classes that are helpful to you. I don't know if it was your alcohol or whether you say you didn't use drugs. I find it impossible to believe that what all was going on in your house where you live with your wife, you didn't know about that. There was cocaine there, there was guns there, they were cooking crack cocaine in the microwave, they had scales and cocaine in the dryer. The smell of marijuana almost knocked out the parole officers when they walked in the house. And you're going to sit up here and you were convicted of all of that by a jury. And you're going to sit up here today and tell me none of that is true. That you were sound asleep or drunk, whatever you were, on the couch. Maybe you were, but you knew what all was going on. You were convicted of all of those things. But you seem to be doing much better while you're in prison. I want to see you continue to do those things. I think at some point, if I'm still on this board when you come back, I might be willing to vote for you, but not today. Your antisocial behavior is very high. The answers that you gave on that questionnaire were astounding. You have a moderate substance abuse need, which perhaps is your alcoholism. But for all of those, your probation history is very poor. You were on probation when you committed these offenses. So my vote today is to deny, but to encourage you to continue to work the way you do it. You're on the right path, just not today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marabella. Mr. Freeman?
I concur with Mr. Marabella and I vote to deny.
All right, Mr. Crumedy, I do agree with my colleagues. I think you're on the right track. Keep working, doing what you're doing. My vote today is to deny for the reasons that have been stated. So good luck to you, sir. Sergeant Marsh, that concludes our business at DC3. We're going to stand adjourned at 9:18. Thanks for assisting us today.
Thank you. All right, thank y'all. I don't think about it.
Well, I think his son said it best. He's not the best father and not very bright. And then his reaction to that, man, you are in trouble when those are the words that are spoken on your behalf at a parole hearing. That if you needed a wake-up call that you really messed up in life, it would be your son calling up and saying he wasn't a great father and he's not very bright. What can you say? I really think that just summed it up. Now, if we want to unpack this a little bit, it seems that he's going to be in there for a long time. I guess he might have another shot. I think it works that he has another shot of parole in maybe to apply in 2 years. Maybe he'll get another shot in 3 years. But his good time date is 2043. And what that means is that unless he gets paroled, he's going to be in there for a long time. He's 53 years old. He's already been in for 12 years. So he was out on parole. He's got a lot of bad crimes. He really is. And you saw the form that he filled out. You can't make it up. He just doesn't understand. The problem is that if you're someone that is just missing that, he said the antisocial behavior, you can't really fix that, I don't think. And maybe it's just something that eventually with age, but it's sad, but I don't think these are one of those people that kind of just need to stay because there's no awareness. It's complete lack of awareness. It's complete, he knows that he's on parole. He knows that he has a parole officer that can come to his house. And his house is a complete den. It sounded like if it wasn't so sad, it would be funny. The smell almost knocked out the parole officer, and the stuff being cooked in the microwave, and it's like all over the place. He gets convicted, and then he shows up to the parole board, and his story is, I didn't know it was there. Yeah. He's completely unaware of how things work. And it's kind of like, I get the feeling that you could probably tell him how it works 100 times and he just wouldn't listen. And what can you do? But like his son said it best, that was pretty poignant. Is that the word? But okay, I'll let you go.